We are live. Welcome along to Burnout. We're live on Manx Radio TT and also on Manx Radio TT Facebook page as well. So unfortunately for you, not just a face for radio anymore, and we're having to get into all this new video technology. But we're here live with Paul Jordan, Northern Irish road racer, privateer. He's with DP Coal Planing and also TC Racing here at the TT. And he's just been telling me a little bit story while we've had a break there about getting some munchie attack in the middle of the night last night, getting a little bit let down. What were you up to last night then, Paul?
I went for a bit of a dander down to McDonald's and unfortunately it was closed.
What time were you there at?
About 12:10.
And you were there for a burger or what?
Just an ice cream.
An ice cream? Has it been that hot?
Yeah, it's been quite hot out there, to be fair.
So you just wandered down. I can't believe it's closed. Anyway, other establishments I'm sure are available. Jackie has commented on our Manx Radio TT Facebook page asking the question, is the R6 and 08 model originally from Ballymena? Best of luck, Paul. Cheers, keep safe.
Yeah, the wee bike was from Ballymena. It was a fella, Gary Marshall. He owned it just on track days back at home, and it was a clean little bike, so we thought we'd bring it to the roads and give it a thrashing.
Happy with it?
Yeah, it's also a good wee bike. It's got me around so far.
So far, touch wood, we'll do good with that. Okay, let's talk about the last few months then with regards to what you have been up to with road racing. You were in Cookstown and also Northwest as well. Two decent finishes at Northwest, but let's go back to Cookstown. How was it?
Yeah, Cookstown was like I was going into no man's land. I hadn't even rode the bike from hadn't rode an R6 or any sort of short circuit bike from the Killalane last year, so we went there with no tests and no practice, no nothing. It was just sort of one of them things, just we're going to see how we get on. And surprisingly we went faster than we ever did around there, which was good, and we weren't far away for what the machinery we were on against. So yeah, it was good. So
talk me through the machinery, because you're with your own team.
Yeah, basically it's just a stock 600 we're riding at the Cookstown show, and we went from the Cookstown, because we were that close to the front, I thought I needed to find a bit more horsepower, so we unfortunately went and sold my car to buy an engine, and we went to Tandragee and I done one lap and the thing went bang.
So you got no car and you had no engine?
Yeah, I had no car, no engine. So
that's the passion that you've got for road racing. And I'm sure, let's do a plug now. If anyone wants to give Paul Jordan a car, what area of Ireland again are you from?
Mackerfell.
Let's do a little plug now and get him a car. Okay, so moving on to Northwest, two decent finishes. Again, talk me through how that was.
Yeah, well, we went to the Northwest. It was one of them. I wasn't too sure if I was going to make it there because I needed my two starts for here. And if I had the two starts from the Cookstown and the Tandragee, I probably would have given the Northwest a miss just for financial reasons and just to keep me a bit of money for here. But we had to go there, and we didn't have a bad run considering what we were against. I think we were like 10 mile an hour down on speed traps and whatnot, but I had fun, and I was riding with some real good riders, and that I came away with a smile on my face.
You had mixed weather there as well. I mean, it was pretty good for most of the time, and track time that you had out there, you got quite a lot of practice as well.
Yeah, no, the weather was good to us there as well, and as you say, yeah, we got loads of track time, and yeah, it was good for coming here, got me up to speed.
So in between, and it has been quick, hasn't it, this year, from coming from Northwest 200 to the Isle of Man TT, there hasn't been much of a break for you at all. Suddenly you're now with DP Coal Planing and TC Racing, so what happened there?
Yeah, we had sort of been speaking there just, I think it was the start of this year, and we were just trying to get things together with ourselves and Paul Phillips, and to try and get over here is quite expensive, so it was sort of like a late deal to get sorted, and it was actually on Wednesday or Thursday there we first met for the first time, and we just sort of clicked. It's real nice.
Last week?
This week.
This week?
Yeah.
This week?
Yeah, sorry, last Wednesday. And,
yeah, hang on a minute, you're confusing me now.
I forget what day it is.
Today.
Yeah, I forget what day it is. So last Wednesday we met up, and it just seemed to click. There's a real good vibe in the team, and everybody's smiling, and that's what I want.
That's perfect, because it is so important, isn't it, that you feel really comfortable with the people around you to be able to go out there and race well.
Yeah, no, for sure, especially when Mike took me down to his garage and seeing how well prepared his bikes were and how clean they were. I'm more than happy to jump on them and go down Bray Hill on them.
And you mentioned Paul Phillips there as well. How's he helped you?
Yeah, so Paul, he had sort of like spoke around and tried to get me a ride for this year, because he'd seen I'd been struggling to get myself on the ball, and in fairness to Paul, he sorted this out for me, and I really appreciate it.
The struggles that you have had, I noticed on your social media, you've had an overwhelming response from sponsors, supporters and family, and you even set up a GoFundMe page, didn't you?
Yeah, it was Janice Thomas from the People's Bike. She actually went ahead and done the GoFundMe page for me. So yeah, you know, I really appreciate everybody's help. There's even got response from Canada, which was really overwhelming. Like,
so how much money did you manage to raise, and what have you used it for?
So we raised £2,200 from the GoFund page, and then a few people have been firing like bits and bobs towards me. So we bought another engine, and then we built up the standard engine I had home and got a refresh for coming here.
There is an amazing amount of money that goes into racing at the Isle of Man TT that a lot of people have got no idea about. You know, it looks from the outside that it's a great show, it's a great festival, huge amounts of racing, it's beautiful skies, but actually what's going on within the paddock, within privateers, is people constantly trying to raise money before they get here to be able to go out there. Parts, petrol. At the moment, you're going to get a lot of practice time, it looks like, this week, and I'm thinking perhaps there's going to be a fuel expense that's going to happen because you're going to get more practice time than perhaps you did last year. How do you cope with those expenses when you're actually getting a lot of practice?
You just sort of have to budget it out, and you know, and like just consume with the both bikes, and just, you know, just really just use your head and what you have to do, and you know, you don't have to go out there and burn engines up or burn tires up. You know, like at the end of the day, we have to do 6 laps of the super bike of the senior, so I have to learn how to ride the bike with 6 laps, not firing tires at it to try and find a fast time, because at the end of the 6 laps I'll not be fit to do that time. So I'm just trying to be like, just control it.
Looking ahead at the racing, you are on both superbike races and also senior and super sport as well. Great result for you. How's practice been for you the last couple of nights then?
Yeah, well, considering we'd really only done a few laps around Derby on the big bike, it was a bit of an eye-opener last night with just the speed and just the size of the bike compared to the 600. So yeah, we got round okay. I'm happy, and we've made a few changes, so I'm sure we can go a lot faster.
What about all those flies? I was talking earlier, saying to Sue and Dave Hickman about all the flies that were out last night. I mean, I've seen so many photographs, and on our Manx Radio TT Facebook page, Mark Tiley has posted a number of great photos of helmets, visors, bikes, sidecars. They've got flies just splattered all over them. What was that like, actually riding that last night?
Yeah, it was quite bad. Now, one of the worst things I was thinking about was if you were going down Bray Hill and you had to get hit by one straight away, and unfortunately that's what happened to me in the first lap round. A big bee splat straight in the middle, so that was one of the tear-offs gone.
And going that speed, that must be actually almost like a bird flying into you. I mean, what does that feel like?
Oh, it's just a bit of like a splat. That's all you get, is a bit of a splat, and then you just tear on. Like.
Poor bee.
Aye, poor bee. Played with the pheasant last night as well.
Say that again?
We had a pheasant up the mountain last night as well.
Okay, and how did you deal with that?
Oh, I just cleaned him on my shoulder.
You see, these are the things that perhaps that we don't know about, aren't they, that goes on around the course, and we don't get the chance necessarily to speak to everybody, but you've been really hammering the nature around the Isle of Man, actually, haven't you? So what are you going to be looking at this evening? What are you going out on?
Well, I think we've got 2 sessions, so I'm going to try and get back out in the big bike, so I really want to improve on it, and then we'll jump back on the 600 and try and get a bit of a quicker lap on it.
And just how much are you looking forward to next week on race week?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the superbike race, just to see how my fitness and endurance is. Really, that's a big test for me, just to see how fit I really am.
And your fitness, as you said earlier, you've been out on the motocross bike throughout the year. What else do you tend to do to keep yourself fit?
I've got to go to a strength and conditioning class in Macrofelt during the week, and then just on the weekends I'm out on the motocross bike.
And how much do you look after your nutrition as well, because you're in pretty good shape?
Oh, well, you go from like a fry every morning to McDonald's in the afternoon to every fast food country and every counter in the country. So
you are being pretty realistic about this. You'd not definitely follow any kind of special healthy food plan then? No, sure, at the end of the day you have to eat like an adult, don't you? You certainly do, and you mentioned a little bit of fast food, but your career also perhaps has changed this year, and you were a butcher when I met you last year. What are you doing this year? So we left the Isle of Man last year as a butcher, and as soon as I got home, one of my friends approached me about an apprenticeship job for roofing, and I just thought I'd do a bit of a career change and go outside for a while. And how's that all going? Yes, I feel a lot better for myself because I was a lot more physical, and I'm outside all the time. Being inside isn't great. And how do they feel about you taking all this time off to go out road racing? Yeah, I don't think at the start they realised how long it was going to be, and for the Northwest they knew it was, well, they thought it was for a week, but they only realised they thought it was Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, where I wasn't there for the week. And then
came back Monday and Tuesday, and then let them know that I was away for another 2.5 weeks.
Is that all the notice that you actually gave them?
Yeah, it was Tuesday afternoon, I think I let them know.
What a terrible employee you actually are. Okay, just to finish on, for the rest of the year, what have you got planned?
So we'll leave here, and I think then we're on the bounce for the whole month of July. Fingers crossed if I can keep everything going myself. And then we've got the Ulster at the end of the year.
Well, we wish you all the very, very best of luck for next week, and of course the rest of practice as well. Thanks for joining us in the studio, Paul.
Not a problem, thank you.
We're going to